Hello my beautiful friends and welcome back. So today I thought we would do something a little bit different. So I thought we would cook dinner while we have a big old catch up. So I got you guys to send in your anonymous questions over on Instagram. So we have a variety of subjects we're going to chat through today while we cook up a little storm. And I am somebody who really goes into their head while they're cooking, so this is going to be a little bit of a challenge for me, but I'm up for a challenge. So today we're going to be cooking Mexican spiced beef tortillas and I'm very excited. And today's video is in collaboration with HelloFresh. If you're not familiar with HelloFresh, they are the world's leading meal kit company. So they provide everything required for cooking delicious meals at home and they deliver it to your front door at a time which is most convenient for you. All ingredients are measured out to the perfect amount, so it means that there's no food waste, and each meal comes with a step-by-step recipe card, which is amazing. My favorite thing about HelloFresh is it makes you try new meals. Like, I'm somebody who will just filter through the same 4 or 5 dinners in a week, you know, and I won't try something new. Whereas having HelloFresh, when you go online and you get to pick your meals, you're going to be trying things that you otherwise wouldn't cook, and that's my favorite thing about it. There's a variety of plans you can choose from. There's veggie, there's family, there's classic, there's quick cook. There's such a variety, and you're able to choose which recipes you want each week. So there'll be a number of recipes, you can pick which ones, and you can modify the serving. So whether it's for 2 people or however many people you're cooking for, and even if it's just yourself, you could get the 2 people one and like meal prep, so it's not going to waste. So you could cook for 2 and then have the second meal the next day for lunch or something. So yeah, it's so convenient and I'm absolutely obsessed. So my code HelloJessie will get you €75 off your first 3 boxes, which is absolutely insane. So I'll leave a little link down below if you want to go and try them out, which I highly recommend. I just love trying new meals. I don't think I'd ever have done this if I didn't get HelloFresh, because just the hassle of it, you know, like finding your recipes, what you need, going to the shop, getting it all, it's also time consuming, whereas this just makes your life a hell of a lot easier. Right, let's get started. So I have the oven preheated and I'm going to prep the veg. So I'm obviously cooking for the 2 of us. Now that is one question that I have been asked a lot in the question box is, are me and Jeremy still together? Yes, we are still together. I thought I might address that first. Because my last video was about enjoying your own company and spending time alone, I think some people took that as us not being together anymore. But as I even said in the video, like, whether you're in a relationship or not, I feel like spending time with yourself and, you know, spending time alone, it's still so important, and it's always something that I have done. It's so important that we keep our core relationship with ourselves. You know, it's very hard to maintain other relationships in our life if our base relationship with ourselves, you know, isn't coming from a good starting point. It feels like you're here with me while we're making dinner together, and it's such a nice little feeling. Okay, let's dive into some questions. Is it bad to expect an anniversary present / celebration when we're students? I don't think so at all. I personally don't think it's about the cost of something, it's about the thought. And like, whether you're in school or you're a student, you know, you can go and pick flowers off the side of the road. You know, you can get a card for a couple of euro, or you can buy something that costs like a tenner. Do you know what I mean? I don't think it's about the value of the item, but just that you're kind of acknowledging the occasion more than anything. So I don't think it's bad to expect an acknowledgement of it, even like a flower or a card, like a little letter. You know, there's so many ways that you can get creative without spending much money. What advice do you have for someone who is giving up and finding love? When I mean giving up, I mean there's not an ounce left of me to try to find someone, but I still somewhere deep down want a relationship and kids and a family. I just am so done with dating today. It feels so hopeless. I do hear so many people talk about this, like the dating scene in this day and age. It just feels like it's gotten worse and worse as the years have gone on, and I feel like social media has a real role to play in that. My best advice would be, like, you say you've given up on love, but you still want, you know, a family and you want a relationship down the line. I would say don't fucking stress about it right now. Like, don't worry about it, because you clearly have been through a lot. I feel like that's your body telling you that you still have a lot of healing to do and you're not ready for something with someone else. So I would just go with that. I would be like, right, that is something I want, but I'm not going to stress about it right now, and it's not going to be my focus in life right now. And I feel like, truly feel like, whenever we're looking for something, we're never going to find it, or we're going to find the wrong people. It's when you're not looking, most of the time, something totally unexpected that you could never see coming comes. Kidney beans are part of this recipe, and neither of us are a fan of kidney beans. I can't stand them. My last memory of kidney beans is in home economics, like when I was in school for my leaving cert, and whatever dish we had to make, what was it? But anyways, kidney beans were in it, and I had to make this dish like week after week, and I would be like retching at the fucking cooker with the kidney beans. I just can't do the consistency and all of it. So we're just gonna leave the kidney beans to one side, because it's just not happening. It ain't happening. I would honestly just pour into everything that you love in life, including yourself and your friendships, your family, anyone in your life. Even maybe doing a bit of therapy to really help digest and process any traumas you've been through, because it seems like you've been through a lot in relationships and you've been really hurt, and we need to work through these emotions. Like, they're not just something that go away overnight, you know. So I'd say how you're feeling is very normal. I feel like most people find themselves in that exact same situation at some point in their life. I've been there before, so I do understand the feeling, but I feel like just let go of any expectations with it, and just be like, I know I'm gonna have that one day, but it's just not for me right now, and I'm going to focus on these other things right now. How can I ask my friend whether she likes girls without making it awkward? I'd like taking her out, but if she's straight, I'd be fine with a friendship. So I have done this a couple times in my life. I feel like I've even done this just in general, because maybe it's because I'm bisexual, and sometimes it is hard to tell, you know, what sexuality someone is, and the only way you're going to know is if you ask. And I feel like the best way to do it is in conversation. Just say she's talking about a fella or a boy that she likes, and then just be like, are you straight? Yeah, like, just really casual. That's personally what I've done in the past. Maybe it's not like the smoothest way to do it, but I don't see how else you can do it other than straight out asking. But you can do it in a really casual way. Or even you could be talking about a girl, being like, oh my god, she's so beautiful, and then be like, are you into girls at all? Do you know, you can really slide it in very naturally where they're not going to question it. Please report back and let me know how you get on. Just waiting for the pan to heat up. Me and my boyfriend don't do penetrative sex, rather lots of other types of sex. We're both satisfied this way and prefer other stuff to pen, but I feel weird around my friends when they start talking about sex and their favourite positions and all. How do I talk to them without being weird? I feel like with this kind of thing, it's like, who is anybody to judge? Like, honestly. And the way I would handle this is, if your friends are talking about their favourite positions, I'd be like, my favourite position is his head in between my legs. And that makes it so clear. But you also, like, you don't need to break down your entire sex life to your friends. Like, it's none of their business. There's obviously a level like that might be discussed, but, you know, details and stuff are kept between the both of you, you know what I mean? I'm just going to open the mince. I just love this, how all the ingredients are just the perfect amount. Like, it makes cooking so much less stressful, because I can be pretty bad for over measuring food and putting, you know, having leftovers. And I don't like wasting food. Like, I absolutely hate it. So yeah, that's honestly the way that I would handle that situation. I need to wash my handies after the raw mince. I feel like with a lot of these things, we can make them out to be much bigger in our head than they actually are. And it's all about how we go about something. You know, instead of coming at the angle of being like, oh, I feel like I need to tell my friends that we don't do penetrative sex. No, none of their goddamn business. Just let them know what your favourite position is. If you want to, you know, if you feel like that's something that you want to do. And I just don't think you need to go any further than that with it. Oh no, I'm gonna have to put on the extractor fan, but it's probably gonna be like really loud. Oh no, I hope you're still gonna be able to hear me. Oh no, I'm just going to leave that off for a minute, because I feel like you're not going to be able to hear me. I'm falling hard for a guy who is so sweet, attentive, and our chemistry is insane. But he is poly and already in 4 relationships. And I've always considered myself monogamous. How do I figure out if it's worth pursuing or not? Honestly, if you are monogamous, I just would not waste my time, because I feel like you're just setting yourself up to get hurt. Like, you know, he's made it very clear that he is poly. He's in 4 relationships. Are you happy to be one of 5 of his relationships? Because being monogamous and being poly, it comes down to like our values in life, you know, and what we want, and that's so important. And it's very important that you don't change the way you naturally are or what you genuinely want out of life because how you feel about someone, because you are ultimately going to be the one that ends up getting hurt. Like, it's not going to be him. And that could even be a bit of it as well. Like, you're saying that he's so sweet, attentive, your chemistry is insane. It might be a bit of as well wanting what like you can't have, because you know that's just not the way you are naturally inclined. You know, it might be making it even more inviting and like you want to do it, but I would just say, like, only you know, because it comes down to if you'd be able to handle that. Like, I would not be able to handle or cope being in a poly relationship. I would lose my goddamn mind, because I am so monogamous, and it's a way of life. Like, being monogamous or poly, it is a total way of life. Like, it's not just, like, it's huge, you know, and it would have a real impact on the way your guys' relationship would be and all of them things. So I'd sit down and do a pros and cons list and be brutally honest with yourself. And I feel like that will give you your best answer, because it's one of those things that nobody else can really answer for us, if you know what I mean. I'm gonna have to put on this extractor fan. I'm so sorry, it's getting way too smoky. Okay, my boyfriend is my first everything, but he has had other partners before me. How do I not feel jealous, especially when it comes to sex? I feel like this is a really common experience people have when they're in their first relationship, where they are their first everything. Because I experienced this. In my first relationship, we both lost our virginities to each other, but he was my first everything, but he had done other things sexually, just not had actual sex. I remember having certain feelings, like you said, having certain feelings that they did have other partners. The only way that goes is with time and maturing, and a lot of the time, just say if you guys did break up and you got into another relationship, you wouldn't have them feelings again. You need to realise that, you know, we all have a past, and it doesn't define us, and it also doesn't determine or have anything to do with how he feels about you, how much he enjoys sex with you, etc. Like, they're 2 totally different things, you know? Like, our pasts make us who we are. We wouldn't be who we are without our past, and our experiences shape us, you know? So he's with you now, and that's what you need to remember, that you are the one he's chosen. Like, yeah, he's had other partners before, but he's chosen you. He loves you, he wants to be with you. You're the one he's being intimate with, you're the one he's in a relationship with. He doesn't want these other people that he was with before, or he would have been with them, you know? So don't see it that like you need to, there's like a comparison, or you feel like you need to compete. But it's a really hard one, and I know it's one that a lot of, I don't know if boys feel it, but I know it's something that a lot of girls experience in their first relationship if their partner has had other partners. I'd say just try and remind yourself of all that, and just realise that it's a very common universal experience. But like, coming from someone who did have certain kind of feelings in my first teenage relationship, and then, you know, as like after we broke up and I was in other relationships, I never had a feeling like that ever again, because once I realised, you know, you're not there, he's not there thinking about his past partners, you know, they're part of his past and it's in the past. You're his present and you're his future, and you're what matters, you know. If anything, look at it as like he's gotten out of his system. Like, you know, try and flip it, like look at it from the positive side. Just be like, okay, right, imagine I was his first ever, and then 4 years down the line he was like, actually, I'm a bit intrigued to see what it would be like to be with someone else. I'm not saying that would be the case, but, you know, just try and flip it in your head, because we often come at it from the most negative stance, you know, and it can eat us alive. But you're good, right? Your pepper's going in. When it comes to mental health and being online, we're told to follow and engage with content that lifts us up or makes us feel good. How rigorous are you with this advice? Would your answer differ if you weren't dependent on being online for your career? Right, so now we have to add in the passata, the beef stock, and the Worcester sauce. So I'm gonna pop all of that in. Oh my god, this looks so yummy! Right, so we're gonna bring this to the boil, and then we're just gonna let it simmer for like 7 to 8 minutes. So right, back to the question. Okay, so with this, I feel like I am really good for it, but I feel like there's a difference between content that lifts you up and makes you feel good, and content that is burning something inside you, that's telling you that that's what I wish I was doing more of. Do you know what I mean? So like if I see a girl who is in a really good routine with the gym, and I look at that and I feel shit about myself, you have to ask yourself, is this genuinely not lifting me up? Or is it because that's what I want to get to that place myself, and use it as more of motivation? Does that make sense? And I feel like people these days, like they can see that as it not lifting you up, whereas sometimes that feeling that you get if you see someone doing something, sometimes it's actually, you know, a good motivation and a good push. You know, not everything we see has to make us go, oh, I feel amazing. So I think that's a really good point, you know, to keep in mind when it comes to content online. Like really asking yourself, you know, I feel like I know what kind of content really doesn't lift me up, but there would be a lot of people that I follow that content's actually giving me a push to do better, and giving me motivation, and showing me that their habits and their routines that I really want in my life. And when I get a bad feeling, it's because that I've not been very good with my routines, you know, or maybe I've been slacking on something. But would your answer differ if you weren't dependent on being online for your career? Yeah, like I feel like if I didn't work online as well, I probably wouldn't spend as much time online, but that's also really hard to say. Maybe I wouldn't have Instagram if I wasn't online as a job. I would never be able to get rid of YouTube. I freaking love YouTube. I watch a lot of YouTube. Like YouTube is my bread and butter. I love YouTube so freaking much. This looks so goddamn tasty. But that's a really hard thing to answer, obviously, because, you know, it's so like hypothetical. But yeah, it's a really good question. How do you see the realm of influencers 10 years from now, based on what you've experienced as an established creator? That made my heart swell. The fact that you think I'm an established creator, when I first read that, I was like, oh my god, that is so sweet. But I suppose I have been doing this for 6 years. Like, I've definitely been doing it on like the longer scale of things, I suppose. Do you have any predictive insights so we can know how to continue to show up for our favourite creators? That's such a lovely question. The problem with online and content creators is that like even we can't keep up with it. Like the algorithms and shit, it's just constantly changing. Like it's just never ending. And we're constantly trying to figure out what's going on. Like the amount of times YouTube and Instagram's algorithm has changed in the time I've been doing this is absolutely insane, and it's a real head fuck. Like it's one of the hard parts of it, is like trying to keep up with them constantly changing it and you not really understanding what they're doing. But I feel like on showing up for your favorite creators, the best thing you can do and will always be able to do is support. So watch, comment, engage, like, share. Just engaging with content is the best way you can show up for your favorite creators online. Me and Melanie, I feel we spoke a lot about this in our video talking about quitting YouTube, but it's all about engagement, and that's what the algorithms are picking up on, is like when you're interacting, how much you're interacting, how much of the video you're watching, even stuff like that. Like if there's someone you want to show up for, and even if it's a video you might be that interested in, like you can leave it playing in the background. Do you know what I mean? Like stuff like that. That would be honestly the only way you can show up for your favorite creators, I'd say, because even we don't know what the hell is going on, and I haven't a clue where it's going to be in 10 years. Like me and Melanie genuinely thought at this point, when we, like, even when I started 6 years ago, she's been doing it, I think she's been doing it like 8 years, but we didn't think it'd still be around now, and it's only getting bigger. So I don't think it's, sorry, I keep picking my back. I've got like a really sore spot on my back. I've been getting really bad back pain and I don't know what it's about. It's really stressing me out because I can't get at them. Maybe it's for the best, but yeah, we didn't think it'd still be around now, and I do think it's only going to keep getting bigger and bigger, but what direction that's going to go down, who the hell knows. Right, let's get these tortillas in the oven. We have cream fraiche, I don't even know what you fucking call that, whatever this stuff is, which is meant to be part of the recipe. But this is dairy, so I'm not going to have this. Jeremy can have this, but yeah, I'm not going to have this on mine because it ain't worth the belly cramps that I will get for the rest of the day. And I'm going horse riding today for the first time since I got sick and I was in hospital. Like, as I was explaining to you guys, like I just haven't felt the strength in my body, but I want to try and give it a go today. I think it's been like over 2 months again, because it was like the start of September when I last went. So I'm really excited, and I'm just going to tell my instructor, you know, that I might take it handy, but it's good to be taking a step in the right direction, and I'm just so delighted about that. And I'm still waiting to hear back on an appointment. I don't know how long it'll be before I get one. I hope it's not too much longer, but I've been to back to the doctor a couple times and stuff, but I'm still having pain on and off, but it's not as bad as it was. So that's why I feel confident with going horse riding. I can't wait to see Rambo. I miss him so much, my little baby. There's been a bit of mince there the whole time, that's absolutely wrong. My little baby, I abandoned him, and I'm going to give him a big cuddle. Right, can you see what I'm doing? Right, let's dish her up, baby. Get her dish. Alright, I'm being a bit greedy here. Should I leave it up for Jeremy? I feel like I did a pretty good job. Like, if my peppers were red, they would literally look the exact same, minus the cream fresh, like the whatever you call that stuff. Jeremy is watching a football match, so I'm gonna let him enjoy his food with that, but I'm just gonna give it a little try, because I've obviously not had these yet. I really enjoyed this. I thought it was so much fun, like that different kind of concept. Let me know if you enjoyed today's video. I felt like you were with me while I was making dinner, and it was really nice. But I'm gonna go now and I'm gonna enjoy my dinner. But don't forget that you can get €75 off your first 3 boxes of HelloFresh. I will have a link down below. But I love you guys so freaking much. You are my bestest friends, and I am eternally grateful for you guys and your support as always. But I love you so much, and I can't wait to see you all in my next video, and I'll see you all super duper soon. Bye bye, friends.